I think the blunt reality is that the world's been rocked by the 90-minute telephone call, apparently with President Vladimir Putin, followed by Trump's declaration that he's seeking to broker an end to the war in Ukraine, and this revelation, which has set off the storm of speculation, diplomatic consternation, global maneuvering, and the reported plan for a face-to-face meeting, potentially in Saudi Arabia, raises as many questions as it does concerns. How was this call conducted? Via telephone, video link, or some other face page channel? What language was spoken? Who was there? More importantly, what commitments, if any, were made by Trump, by Putin? For Ukrainian President Mr. Zelensky, Trump's call with Putin was a diplomatic snub. It wasn't just that Putin received the first call, which Zelensky himself admitted was not very pleasant, but that Trump appeared to treat him as an afterthought. The Ukrainian leader's worst nightmare is now a real possibility that Trump and Putin will negotiate over Ukraine's fate without Ukrainian representation at the table. And Zelensky has reiterated that his country will not be able to accept any agreements made without Ukraine's involvement. Yet the trajectory of Trump's foreign policy stance suggests that that's exactly what is likely to happen. It is the most extraordinary snub. And this meeting, the news of Trump's direct conversation with Putin, and the backlash that Trump in characteristic fashion has declared that the war will end swiftly under his leadership. The reality, however, is far murkier. His Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, has already signaled a possible US retreat from fully supporting Ukraine, stating that pre-2014 borders are unrealistic. It's an alarming development for Ukraine and its allies, as it hints at potential territorial concessions to the aggressor, to Russia, in exchange for a fragile peace, no better than the Minsk agreements. Zelensky has repeatedly warned against any agreements made without Ukraine's full participation, and his upcoming meeting at the Munich Security Conference, including a meeting with the US Vice President J.D. Vance, a known critic of Ukraine aid, will be crucial in gauging Washington's stance. Will the US maintain its commitment to supporting Ukraine, or is this a signal of a shift towards Trumpian realpolitik inevitable? European leaders have responded with alarm. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has stressed that Europe must be directly involved in negotiations. Meanwhile, Germany and British leaders are caught in this balancing act, supporting Ukraine while not alienating a potential second Trump presidency. The prospect of Trump sidelining Europe in diplomatic discussions has unsettled NATO allies, and the European response has been swift: increased defence spending, greater emphasis on strategic autonomy, and warnings that any settlement that undermines Ukraine's sovereignty will not be accepted. Adding another layer of intrigue is the rumoured in-person meeting between Trump and Putin in Saudi Arabia, and the choice of Riyadh raises again several questions. Is Saudi Arabia positioning itself as a new power broker in global diplomacy? Will Putin actually attend, or will he, as some Russian commentators have suggested, send a body double? Regardless of how surreal these details may seem, the meeting signals a shift in how global diplomacy is conducted, one that increasingly excludes traditional Western actors. We're entering a new chapter in the Ukraine war, one shaped as much by political maneuvering as by battlefield dynamics, and Trump's intervention, whether a genuine attempt at peace or a global gamble, has the potential to redefine alliances, embolden Putin, and leave Ukraine in a precarious position. So, awaiting the next developments, one question looms large. Will Trump's self-styled diplomacy end the war, or will it create a dangerous precedent where major powers carve up smaller nations without their consent?